So far what we have discussed, we have created the new legal entity and we have named some legal entity as XYZ. For creation of new legal entity, we will navigate to the organization administration, organization and legal entities. So this is a place where we will create all our legal entities. Like for example, if you have so many subsidiaries, like for example, you have Bar Dynamics. Inside Bar Dynamics, you have so many other subsidiaries like Electric Wire. You may have Microsense. So you can create n number of legal entities by clicking on new, and you will give the legal entity code and legal entity name. Okay, so and there are some mandatory there are so many options like address, company address, like for this particular legal entity what are the addresses are there, we will update in the address tab. And similarly in the contact information, we will update the contact information. So these are the additional stuff which we will add in the legal entity. After creation of legal entity, what we will do, we will generate the number sequence. For generation of number sequence, we can generate the number sequence from the same organization administration, number sequence and number sequence. So you can generate all number sequence at one shot by clicking on the wizard. You can see at here we have under new, we have a generate button. Okay. So once you click on generate button, your it will be generate number sequence for all the modules at one shot. Okay, so once you click on generate, so this is the wizard which will be open over here. Let it open. So once you click on this particular generate button, there will be a wizard will be open, and you will click on next, next, and you will click on finish. Then the number sequence will be generated. So currently it's taking time. Let's wait for that particular wizard to populate in front of the screen. Okay, so you can see this is the number sequence wizard. So at here you will click on next. It will display all the modules number sequence. Okay, now you can see for all the modules it has been generating the number sequence automatically, and you will click on again next to complete the wizard. Okay, so now you can see these many total of number sequence will be generated automatically. So for this legal entity WMS, it's already generated. For these two module session, it has been not generated, so that was the reason it was generating now. Okay, so other than this, we have discussed about the core general ledger setup, where we will create our ledger parameters and main account, chart of account. So these are the things which we have discussed in last session. So let me brief you once again on those points. Why? Because these are the critical things which you should know before going to further modules. in the finance. Okay, so let me go to the general ledger module. Okay, so for any implementation, the first thing will be the creation of legal entity, and second thing is the number sequence, and third thing is the financial structure. So when I say the financial structure, which includes your chart of account, financial dimension, financial segment, accounting structure. Okay, so these all are the things which should be updated before you modify. I mean, these are the core finance related tasks which should be completed for your smooth operations. Okay, so for that, let me navigate to general ledger module. Okay, now you can see this is the general ledger module, and at here we mostly work on ledger setup. So in ledger setup we have seen like the physical calendar and financial calendar. For ledger calendar, so what is difference between physical calendar and ledger calendar? Okay, so the physical calendar states for complete year, and the ledger calendar defines for the each individual month. So we have around 12 months in a year, right? So if you see in inside Dynamics, you will have 14 periods. Okay, let me open any one ledger calendar so that you can easily understand. So now I have clicked on the ledger calendar. Now you can see we have opening and we have closing. Okay, these are the two additional periods which is adding in our ledger calendar. Okay, which includes now there are 14 periods. So why there is 14 periods? It should be have 12 periods, right? In a year we have 12 months. Now when the opening period is nothing but when you close your year, fiscal year. Like for example, I am closing my books for 2024. Okay, that closing balance initially it will transfer to the opening balance, and from opening to the period 1. Okay, and similarly for the closing also, initially it will transfer to the closing again it will transfer to opening. Okay, so these are the two additional periods which will be added in your ledger calendar. Okay, and physical calendar is nothing but you can see this physical year. So we have each individual year. Currently we have 2025. If you want to add any new year, you can add it with the help of fiscal year. Okay, for that you can go over here under, you can see we have a calendars. You can go to the physical calendar and you can create new physical calendar. Like for example, at here I want to create new year. So click on new year, and if you click on create, the year will be created over here for 2026. Okay, now you can see, if you see my calendar, it starts from April to March. Okay, as we are Indian, we follow our book annual year closing in March. Okay, our financial year starts from the April and ends in the March. When I say the financial statement, it's nothing but the whole year calculation. Either it may be starting from January or it may start from the April. It depends on the location. Like for example, if you go with US, they follow Jan to December calendar, and they close their annually books on December end. Okay, if you see in India, we follow April to March, and we will close our annually financial year on March ending. So that is the difference. When you see the calendar, somewhere it's open on January, and some places they are following on from the April to March. Okay, any doubts in this far so far? Sorry, I'm going a little bit fast. These are the topics which we have already covered, so I just want to bring you in all in same page so that you can understand. Sorry, any doubts on physical calendar and ledger calendar? You may get question like what is difference between these two, so you should able to answer. Okay, so fiscal year is nothing but you can straightforwardly you can say fiscal year only to create the ledger calendar whole year, and ledger calendar is based on each individual month basis. Okay, we have monthly closing, quarterly closing. Okay, so this monthly closing and quarterly closing will be done based on your period. Okay, yeah. So moving to the next part, we have currencies. Okay, so in currencies we have exchange rates. Like for example, if you are doing on USD and you want, sorry, if you are doing on USD and you want to convert into to INR, so from INR to USD, so you can define that exchange rate in this particular currency column. Okay, now you can see under currency we have foreign currency revaluation. So this is the part at the end of the month we will do the revaluation. Like for example, why we need to do revaluation? The main reason for revaluation is the rate fluctuate on daily basis. In that case, the exchange rate may uh, not correct during the transaction. There may be a penny difference. Okay, to correct those penny difference, we will run the recalculation. Foreign currency revaluation is nothing but the recalculation. Okay, now you can see the current at here exchange rate type. So basically we have different exchange rate type. Okay, most probably we will use the budget or default. Okay, being this demo instance, so you may see a number of different type of exchange rate has been defined over here. Okay, but you can mainly use default or budget. Okay, now if you see this exchange rate, how we will define now, like for example, I want to define the exchange rate for the default. So you will select this default exchange rate and click on exchange rate on top. Okay, now at here you will specify what is my exchange rate for 100 USD or 1 USD. You will specify over here. Like for example, I want to specify, let's imagine I want to specify from AED to INR. Okay, so you can see the currency conversion factor. It at here it is mentioned as 1, 10, 100, 1000 or 10,000. Okay, either you want to specify for 1 AED equal to how much INR is there, you will specify it down, or for 10 AED equal to how much amount you will specify it down. So you can select what value you are updating. Like for example, at here I am updating for 1 AED, I am updating the rate. So you can see from date and to date. So you can give the from date and to date. Okay, and at here you will update the start date as the same, and you will provide the rate. Like for example, 1 AED equal to 23.59 INR. Okay, so whenever you do this particular transaction in AED currency, and if you have the accounting currency in INR, then it will be automatic convert to this particular currency. So how it will work? So this is a secondary question which will come. How the exchange currency will work? Okay, like for example, now I have defined my exchange rate over here, and we have one more setup. Under ledger setup, you can go to the ledger. Okay, now you can see we have accounting currency and reporting currency. So what do you mean by accounting currency and reporting currency? So accounting currency is nothing but your transactional currency. Both are same. Okay, what the mode of transaction where you are doing and what type of currency you are updating in that particular field is nothing but your accounting currency. Okay, in other words, you can say transaction currency. And the what is difference between reporting currency? Reporting currency is nothing but for reporting purpose we can use the other currency, and based on that the exchange rate what we have defined. So based on that, it will automatically convert to that particular currency, and it will display in your reports and inquiry form. Okay. Now you can see at here my accounting currency and reporting currency both are same. Okay. It may be differ. It depends on the organization and type of industries. Okay, if you see investment industry, mostly they follow accounting currency has their local currency. Local currency is nothing but, like for example, in India we follow INR. Okay, so our accounting currency will be INR and my reporting currency will be USD. Okay, so they will define over here in that way. And now you can see what is your accounting currency default exchange rate type. So at here we will specify what I mean system which exchange rate need to be picked. So that we will define over here. The accounting currency exchange rate is there, right? That is default, we will specify over here. Okay, so this is the place where we will specify our exchange rates. Okay, so if we specify these two, one is the exchange rate, what is my factor conversion. Okay, and second thing is we need to map that particular exchange currency over here. And next we have so this is related to currency. So other than that, we have discussed on chart of account and dimensions. Okay, so if you see the chart of account, inside that we will discuss mostly on main accounts. And chart of account is nothing but group of all the ledger account which we utilize in our financial statement. Okay, like for example, now in you can take your own home. So you may have different expenses and different source of income and different investments which you have. Okay, everything is tracked. Okay, we usually in our home we will usually use our own mindset, and we used to write in at the end of the day in a diary what is my day-to-day expenses, how much I have spent. So we will note down like that, right? So at here inside Dynamics we will define individual ledger accounts. Okay, when I say the ledger accounts is nothing but your main accounts only. Okay, like for example, bank accounts. Sri Lakshmi have one savings account. Okay, and Pradeep having one more saving account. Prashant having one more saving account. Okay, Gautam having saving and current account. Okay, so now you can see we have a saving account and one current account. Okay, even when we have the ledger account, we have classified into two types. One is savings, another one is current. The savings and current is nothing but main account categorization, ledger account categorization. Okay, so like for example, now fixed assets. So what are the different type of fixed assets we have? We have TV, we have furniture, office table, we have sofa set, we have bike, we have land. These all are fixed assets, right? And they have appreciation and depreciation. What do you mean by appreciation? Nothing but the value of the asset will be increased. Depreciation is nothing but on every year basis the value of the fixed asset will be reduced. Okay, so fixed asset is one of the group. So fixed asset you can classify as one of the main account category, and inside that you can have a number of ledger accounts, and you can group it in one type of main account. Okay, so this main account category is basically it will help for reporting purpose. Okay, like for example in financial statement, you need to define, instead of defining individual main account base, you can go with category base. It's very easy to define, and it is very easy to understand. If you go with the ledger account, you need to map individual ledger account, like if, in between if you are creating any new on that particular main account category, I mean inside that particular main account category you are creating any new ledger account, again you need to map it in the reporting financial statement. Then only the report will be hidden in your uh, financial statement. So how we need to design the financial statement, we will see in this week how we can create the financial statements. Okay, So chart of account is nothing but group of all the ledger account is known as chart of account. Ledger account is known as main account is nothing but again it will be classified into two types, subledger and ledger. So what do you mean by subledger and ledger? Ledger is nothing but this is my main primary account. Subledger account is nothing but your individual account. Like for example, I have a bank. Okay, you can imagine it's a company bank account. Okay, which will give you total of all the bank accounts. So this is nothing but main account, or you can say ledger account. Okay, inside this I have in a number of subledger accounts. When I say subledger accounts, I may have individual savings accounts like Sri Lakshmi, Pradeep, Rakesh, Prashant, Gautam, individual savings account. So I have individual account ledger balance which will show, and if I want to know the total balance, I can know with the help of total account. Okay. So this is the part of accounts, and we have discussed about the dimension. Okay. So in financial dimension, there are three standard dimension which is already available. That is, one is the business unit, department, cost center. These are the three standard dimensions which is already available. To classify this, you need to navigate to the organization administration. Okay, and you can see operating unit. Click over here. Okay, so at here you will classify those dimensions, ledger dimensions, like business unit, department, cost center. So if you click on new, and when you click on new, you can see we have a department, cost center, okay, and business unit. So these are the three major cost centers which will these are the three financial dimensions which majorly use. And we have value stream and retail channels. Okay, so these are the two additional dimension segment Microsoft is providing in standard. Okay, these dimensions will be utilized in retail, value stream and retail channel. Rest three we will utilize inside the dimensions. Okay, like for example, if I want to create department, I will select department and I will click on OK. Now you can see the department number is auto populated. I need to give the department name, like for example IT infra. Okay, and I will click on save. So similarly you will create the standard dimensions in this way. Okay, other than that we can create the custom financial dimension. Okay, to create custom financial dimension, for that we need to navigate again general ledger module, chart of account, dimensions, financial dimension. Okay, now at here you can able to see the standard dimension. Along with that you can able to see the custom dimensions. Yeah, now you can see we have a business unit. It's a one of the standard dimension. Okay, now if you want to view the value of the business unit, you can click on dimension value. It will display the list of values which we have defined. Okay, let's take for example, I have defined IT infra, right? So that comes under in the department head. So let me select the department dimension, and if I click on dimension value, okay, now you can see 252 IT infra which I have created from the organization administration. Okay, now if I want to create a custom dimension, so what we have to do? For that, you will click on new over here. Okay, and you will select the use value form as custom dimension. Okay, and you will specify the dimension name. So what kind of dimension it is? Like for example, it may be your division, it may be your project, it may be your location. These are the custom dimension which we'll utilize. When I say the project, you may have individual project number for individual sites. Like for example, if you have a construction industry, okay, so when you are in construction industry, each construction building you will act as a project, okay, and based on that you will update the uh, based on that you can know what is my expenses on one that particular project. And similarly we have a location. This particular location is also an additional dimension. uh, you can also call it as segment also. Dimension is nothing but segment. The terminology may differ, but in some location they will call as segment, and in some location they call as dimensions. Okay, so at here you can able to see in location what in which location this particular project is located. So you can specify, like for example, in Hyderabad I have three different location, okay, and you may have different project number also. Like in Hyderabad I have Gachibowli one project, Amirpet one project, okay, and Nankargooda another project. So I will give each project as 1, 2, 3, and location has Nankargooda, Amirpet, and Gachibowli. I can provide that particular name over like that in location dimension. Okay, so at here I will update the location. Okay, and I will click on save. So if I click on save, now you can see at here we have received one warning message. So this warning message is nothing but location currently is used in dimension. So it is already has been created. So that was the reason it was giving me an warning over here. Let me check if it is created. Legal entity. Okay, let me create location one. Okay, so I just randomly created some location. Okay, now you can see we have received one pop-up message. Okay, which is stating over here is you cannot update the dimension until the dimension activation is run. Okay, so this dimension activation will be done on the maintenance mode. So this maintenance mode will be done by the technical team. If with the help of them you can make this particular instance. When I say instance, we let me give more information on this particular instance. Basically we will have three different instances. One is dev, another one is UAT, and third one is live. Live is nothing but production. Okay, in dev instance where you will also work and technical team will also work. UAT instance, mostly you guys will be work as a functional and business user, or technical stuff will be done by done in UAT. And third one is production. Production is core business user will work on it, and we will just support on some issues. Okay, if any technical issue, we will first fix it in dev, then we will move it in UAT, we will retest it over there. Once it is tested by business user, it's confirmed, then we will move to production. Okay, so at here now activation of this particular financial dimension, this can be done in two ways. One is with the setting up in maintenance mode, that I will show you how we can do it in next session. Okay, the second method with the help of data entity. So what do you mean by data entity over here? Data entity is nothing but uh, it's a data upload activity task. With the help of that also we can activate our financial dimensions. Okay, that I will show you how we can do it in next session. Okay, so if you want to derive values in this particular location, you can click on dimension value, and you can add the values over here. Like for example 001 Madhapur, okay, and another one 002 Tenali, okay, So I can add like that a number of dimension values, and I can utilize these particular dimension values in my accounting structure. Okay. So after creating the financial dimension, we have another concept called financial dimension sets. So if you go to the general ledger module, under chart of account dimensions, we have financial dimension sets. Okay. So what does this financial dimension sets will do? Okay. So we have dimension segments and number of dimension segments which we have defined. So based on the particular dimension sets, if I want to run the trial balance, I can run it and I can know the exact balance as per my segments. Okay. So you can see over here, I have in standard system, we have already defined few dimension based segments over here. Okay. One is main account plus business unit, main account business unit department. Okay. Main account department cost center. So these kind of things, how we can view in our trial balance. Let me give a small glance on that. Okay. Now you can see we have a number of financial dimension sets. Now let me duplicate this particular tab. Okay. So at here, let me navigate to general ledger module. And at here, you can go to the queries and report trial balance. Okay. So at here, you can see now you can see before running the trial balance parameter, you can see we have a financial dimension sets over here. Okay. So with the help of this particular financial dimension sets, we can know the trial balance based on how you want to view it. Like for example, I want to view my trial balance based on the main account department and cost center. So at here you will select the financial dimension set has uh, yeah, main account business unit department. Okay, and you will click on calculate balance. So once you click on calculate balance, it will display based on the transaction how you have done it. So it will display according to that. Now you can see over here there is no transaction is available. The reason why I am in that legal entity, that legal entity doesn't have any transactional record. So let me change to USMF. Okay, now let me filter with the same dimension sets. Let me click on calculate balance. Now you can see over here for this new year also there is no transaction. Let me filter some older date. Yeah. Now you can see over here, the columns are separated over here for main account, business unit, and department, and name. And if you see the name column, we have complete name give with the help of hyphen symbol, and what was the business unit name. Business unit name is nothing but home, and department 22 is nothing but sales and marketing. So in name column, it is defined very well properly, and you can see the opening and closing balance. And if you have any transaction during that particular period, it will display over here. Okay. So this is only for the for reporting purpose or to know the actual expenditure based on that particular department or cost center or business unit. With the help of that, you can track with the help of financial dimension sets. Okay. Any doubt in this particular financial dimension sets? This we have already discussed. So I just re-explaining those concepts. Okay. So there is another topic which we have already discussed, that is the financial dimension integration. Let me give very high level, and we will discuss more on the data entity data management, how it will work. Okay, and we have Excel add-in. So with the help of Excel add-in, how this integration will work, that also I will show you. Okay, now at here you can see financial dimension configuration for integration application. So if you click on this particular tab, okay, so at here we have already predefined the dimension segment value. I mean, how I want to import my any transactional data. So what is my segment sequence that I will specify over here in the financial dimension integration application. Okay, like for example, if we are utilizing the Excel, okay, and I want to display my financial dimension in set a sequence. Like for example, after main account, it should be my business unit, department, cost center. Okay, this thing you will specify over here in the financial dimension integration, and you will import inside the Dynamics with the help of data management and Excel utilities. This tool will be utilized. Okay, so this one we will discuss more detail in the uploading task, that is the data management task. Yeah. So other than that, we have discussed the accounting structure. Okay. So in accounting structure, we have configured one accounting structure has test that data has been removed. So where we will configure for each individual ledger account and what dimension segment is mandatory, that we will define over here. Like for example, I'm just opening one of the uh, accounting structure so that you can easily understand. Now, 1 minute, let me open one. Yeah, now you can see this is the accounting structure, and in this accounting structure you can see I have a main account, department, business unit. So at here I'm utilizing only two segments. In case if you want to add and more segments, you can add it. Maximum you can add over here 10 segments. More than that you cannot add the segments in this particular accounting structure. Okay, so that is the core agenda. Even in interview also they may ask how many segments you can add in the accounting structure. So you should able to answer that I can add maximum 10 segments in the accounting structure. Okay, we have another concept called financial tags also. So in financial tags we can add maximum 20 financial tags. So what is financial tag? Financial tag is nothing but financial dimension. These are the additional dimension which you can add it in during the transaction time. Okay, that also we can add it with the at here. For that you need to navigate same general ledger. You have financial tags, and you can define this financial tags. So at here also you can specify the list, or either it can be a text field where you will update your text, where you can update the text. Like for example, if I want to create new, I'll create new financial tag, and I need to give the name. Like for example, Okay, and what type of dimension value you are creating. Okay, so I mean, what type of financial tag you are creating. Either it is a text, or it is a list, or it is a custom list which you are preparing. Okay, like for example, I am preparing a list, so I will select as list and I will click on save. Okay, and at here you need to specify the user form. So what kind of list you have specified in the dimension, financial dimension, you can select that particular financial dimension and that particular list will be populated. Okay, like for example, at here I have selected the department. Okay, and I have saved it. Okay, now you can see, so once I have mapped this particular list, so there is another warning message which giving on top to set the delimiter for the financial tag. So what do you mean by delimiter over here? So let me explain that. So delimiter is nothing but for the separation of individual uh, financial segments, financial dimension segments. Like for example, let me go to the general ledger parameter. Okay, so let me go in duplicated tab. General ledger, general ledger parameter. Okay, now at here, if you see over here, we have financial tag. Okay, in this particular financial tag we will specify the segment separation. Okay, like for example, I want to use hyphen for separation of delimiter, so you can select separation of hyphen or underscore. Okay, similarly for chart of account and dimension, we have given dash has a delimiter, which Microsoft by default it will be updated. In case if you want to modify it, you can modify it. Okay, and similarly if you want to set for financial tag, you can set it by selecting from this particular drop down. Okay, so this is the delimiter. So why this delimiter we need to set? The reason behind this particular delimiter is uh, even if, when you extract the trial balance or any transactional record from the voucher transactions, so with there you can separate the column based on this particular delimiters. Okay, so that is the purpose we will add this tags delimiters as mandatory. Now at here I have added as delimiter as this one. Now if I save this particular record, now record has been saved. Okay, so how this particular dimension financial tags will work? So let me show you that. In our last session I have shown the example how the accounting structure will work during the transaction. Now let me show you one journal entry. Okay, so for that I will navigate to the journal ledger module. Under journal ledger module I have journal entries. Okay, journal entries, journal. So at here I am clicking new button from top, and at here I will select the journal name. So currently it is showing as none. So okay, it is in DAT entity. So let me change to USMF. Okay, so let me create new journal. Journal. If I go to the lines, okay, so at here I am adding a new line. Okay, let's imagine I am selecting over here some random ledger account. Okay, and you can see this is the account type. So we have three different fields. You can see account type, account, financial type. Okay, so when you select the account type as ledger, it will display all the main accounts. Okay, similarly, if you select the account type as customer, it will display your customer master. Vendor, it will when you select the vendor, it will show you all the vendor master. Similarly, for the project, it will show the project master. Fixed asset, it will show the fixed asset master. So it will show in that way. So currently I have selected the ledger. Okay, when I selected the ledger, you can see in this particular drop down I have selected the main accounts, and you can see the rest of the dimension is populating over here. Okay, if it is mandatory, then it will throw me a error message stating that this particular dimension segment is not updated. Okay, for financial tag, you can see there is another column. Another column is there with name of financial tag. So if you click on this particular financial tag, okay, so nothing is populating. The reason why it is not populating over here, we have not yet activated it. Okay, now let me go back to the financial tags. Okay, previously we have created the financial tag in the USMF and dat entity. Now I'm creating over here in the USMF. Okay, so at here I'm selecting project as a list. So at here I'm activating the financial dimension. You can see at here after adding the list, this particular button will be enabled for activate and deactivate the tags. So I will click on this particular button, and you can see inactive financial tags and active financial tag. So there is nothing is active financial tag. So let me select this particular record and move to the active financial tag, and I will click on OK for activation of the financial tag. So there will be a backend batch jobs will be run for activation of this particular tags. Uh, okay. So once it is activated, this particular checkbox will be checked. So let me refresh it. Now you can see this particular financial tag has been activated. Now we can utilize this particular tag during the transaction level. Okay, now let me go to the another page. Let me quickly refresh this particular screen. Okay, now at here in financial tag, in this particular drop down, you can see, so this is the demo data which I have added in my financial tag. Okay, so in this particular financial tag drop down, I have selected the type has project. Okay, now if I scroll this down this particular drop down arrow, so it will display all the project codes. Okay, for more information, let me in another tab, let me open the financial dimension tab. Okay, so at here I have selected the project, right? Let me show you the same values which is available over there. Okay, so this is the project tab dimensions, and these are the values. Okay, now currently at here, what value we are we are getting over here in this particular journal. If I click on this particular drop down, I have 4 times 0, 5 times 0 2. Okay, now let me filter that particular dimension value over here. 1 2 3 4 5. So this is the business budget stereo install. This is the dimension value which is populating over there. Okay, so you can select that particular dimension value, and you can proceed with the transaction level. Okay, now I have updated this particular dimension, And if you have any description, you can update the description over here. If like demo, and you will provide the amount, and you will select the offset account. Okay, so for any ledger transaction, you will have for equal debit and equal credit. Okay, so for finance people, they will understand what do you mean by debit and what do you mean by credit. Okay, in accounting we have three basic rules. I believe those who are in CA student, they know well properly. They can answer this. What are the three major principal rules which usually we follow in accounting treatment? Okay, one is the personal account, another one is real account, and third one is the nominal account. Okay, so so based on this, you can easily tell your ledger accounting entries how it will flow. Okay, like for example, personal account. So what will be the accounting treatment? I think Gautam, you can answer this personal account, real account, and nominal account. They can give some brief. Gautam, are you there? Or anyone in CA? Uh,
Yes, Gautam.
yeah, yeah. You can brief a little bit the
Yes,
personal account, real account, and nominal account. What do you mean by that, and how the accounting will flow? You can give some brief. Well, because you are the CA student and you know well about this particular concept.
yes, sir. So actually, we used to call these rules as golden rules. You can type it on Google, golden rules, so that it will be clear to everyone. And I am going to brief about that one: personal account, debit the receiver, credit the giver, and real account. What are the assets will be taking as debit, and liabilities will taken as credit. And coming to nominal account, all the expenses are debit, all the incomes are credit. This is just to brief about. I'm asking you all to go the Google and check on what each one briefly and connect me personally. I will conceptually I give an examples and give a clarity on that one.
Okay.
Because there is not a simple topic, there is different scenarios are available and different examples are available to explain on each account. I have to explain about the receiver, and I have to explain about the giver. And coming to real account, some assets are coming under non-current assets. Nominal accounts. I have to explain on each one. Please connect with me if you have any doubts. Just ping me.
Let me brief with one or two example over here. Like for example, personal account. Okay, personal account. The rule states over here: debit the receiver. Sorry, debit the giver, credit the receiver. Right, right, Gautam.
Yes,
Okay.
receiver credit
Now,
the giver.
now at here, for example, I am giving cash to Gautam. Okay. Now at here, who is receiving cash and who is the giver? At here, both are Gautam. So let me change the name. Like for example, Sri Lakshmi given cash to the Gautam. Okay. So who is the receiver and who is the giver in this particular thing? At here, I have two persons. One is Sri Lakshmi, another one is
Selection
Gautam.
is the giver.
Okay. So as per personal account golden rule, it states that debit the receiver, credit the giver. Okay. So at here, Sri Lakshmi will be debit, credit will be Gautam. Okay. Uh, if you have bank will always have the credit balance. Okay. Which is savings account, right? You can see there at the end it mentioned as CR. CR is nothing but the credit balance. Okay. So if you are transferring fund from your bank balance to the Gautam bank balance, okay. So your account will be debited with DR and credited to Gautam account as CR. Okay. So this is the personal account. I just given very small example over here. So you may have multiple examples uh, in that way. And next, let me give you another example. We have the real account. Real account state that debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Okay. So let's imagine you have uh, guys, we'll stop over here and we will continue tomorrow. Actually, I'm at Tirumala and I need to join the queue. Okay, so we'll stop over here and we'll continue from tomorrow for this particular thing. So we'll start from this particular process onwards. Okay, guys. Gautam.
Okay, Gautam. Yes, yes, yes. We are.
Okay, queue press start in there. Okay.
Mm.